What is up, everybody? It is day 3 of the 10 Tips in 10 Days Challenge. I am talking about presenting, and so day 1 was touch, day 2 was environment, day 3 is you're getting into your presentation. It doesn't matter what the environment is, if it's a giant board meeting, if it's speaking in front of 1,000 people, whatever your presentation is, you're getting into it, and typically people start off with what? Some kind of slide, here's the agenda for the day, let people know what they're gonna expect, and then they roll into some kind of an icebreaker, or God forbid, even straight into their presentation. But before that, there's something you can do that literally takes 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and it can make your presentation so much more valuable and create people to pay attention at such a higher level. And it's so simple that so many people miss it, right? And it's that you have to set the appropriate level of concern or risk for your attendees to listen to what you're saying. And what I mean by that is, if your attendees come in and they think they can sit in the back like this and talk to their friend, and that at the end of the meeting, it doesn't matter if they know anything, well then you're not in a great position, right? Because you're basically now someone who has no authority of any kind, and the material, if it's not catching them, it could make or break. It's like they can take it or leave it, right? But as a facilitator, as a presenter, you can take that power upon yourself by setting a level of risk. And that usually involves your guests being in an uncomfortable position potentially. And so I'll give you some examples, right? So you come in, you got a meeting going on, and you say something like this. Oh, by the way, before we go into our icebreaker, I do want to say this. At the end of the presentation, I'm gonna draw a name of the hat. I got your names from your supervisor, so I have everybody in here already cut up inside that hat, and I'm gonna draw 2 names out. Whoever I draw is gonna have to role play what we're learning now in front of the group. So make sure you pay attention. That's it, right? That took what, 15 seconds? And now every single person in this room, let's say it's 30, 40, 50 people, is now thinking what in their head? Oh, snap. What if I get drawn? I'm gonna have to go up in front of all these people, and then they're getting fearful of public speaking and embarrassing and all these different things that are floating through their head. But at the end of the day, guess what happened? They're like, locked in. Because now they wanna make sure I learn this material so that I don't embarrass myself up in front of all of my peers, right? So it takes no time. At the end of the meeting, it's literally 1 role play, but because you did that now, you got everybody to pay attention. Let's say you're presenting in front of a giant group. You can do it there too. You can say, all right, everybody, hey, before we begin, I do want to say this though. We're gonna actually be sharing with the people around you, and I know you're sitting around people you may not know, so you're probably not gonna want to embarrass yourself, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to share a few of these key takeaways, so make sure you're paying attention. Right? Not as strong as the first one, but still like, oh, I better pay attention. I don't want to embarrass myself talking to this person or that person, right? And then thirdly, one that you can also do is you can do a test. And so this happens a lot, right? It's like, hey, you know what? At the end of the workshop or at the end of the presentation, we're actually gonna go through, I created a test. I know you came today and now you have to take a test, right? You can make a joke of it. But say, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go through, I wanna make sure you have this information, so pay attention because you don't wanna fail the test, right? Even, we're taught from such a young age. I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, right? They don't want to fail tests already. Tests are already a big deal, right? And so even as we grow up as adults, that never goes away from us. We always want to perform well. We want to perform well on a test. And so setting that level of concern is a simple trick for all facilitators to get more people engaged in your presentation.